Okay, you guys. Okay, welcome to 2018. I still I still can't quite believe it's the new year. I don't know about you guys, but I'm like, what's going on? What's happening? And I wanted to have a kickoff call like last week, and I was like, it's just too hectic right after New Year's. So thank you so much for taking the time to get on. And I want this to be like a pretty brief call. I know, Jen, you have some questions, and I want to answer all of your questions. But I really just wanted to get as many people as I could together, and people who see this afterwards. That's totally fine too. And I know we have a lot of coaches with questions, and I just kind of want to put some things out there for the year. So I know there's been a lot of changes. There's been a lot of updates, and Beachbody's they're doing a lot to try to stay up with the times, and it's not always smooth, but I think the intention is so good, and I think that just is so reassuring, because for newer coaches, it some of the stuff won't really matter because you're coming into it and this is how it is. But for some of us that have been around for a little while, it was like there were some things like that they needed to change, and they're turning the ship and they're trying to make things right. And I think that that's a really good thing for all of us. So anyway, so the coach online office has been updated. The teambeachbody.com website has been updated. The share a cart, I don't know if you guys have been using that, but I think that that's been freaking awesome, because you can add more things to the cart versus just the challenge pack and those kind of things. But and then just kind of how they're doing the packaging and the bundles and things like that for 80-day obsession is kind of the first. Well, I guess double time was the first that they did that type of thing with. But I think that we're here in a really great time it's a really good time to be a coach. And I think that I'll be really honest, I had a rough last quarter of last year with just feeling like, oh my gosh, what is going on here? And I felt like they needed to make some changes, and some of you won't even know what I'm talking about, and it's totally fine. I feel like a little bit relieved that they've made changes. They're addressing some volume things. I mean, there's always going to be glitches. There's always going to be things that don't run smooth, but I think that Beachbody's a really good company, a really solid company, and I'm happy to be here. And I don't know if everyone knows Melissa. Hi. I started in 2010, so it's been 8 years that I've officially been a coach, but I didn't start actually working my business until 2013. So it's been about 5 years that I've actually been working my business. And you go through ups and downs. And I really tonight, I want to just let you guys know that there's ups and downs. There's times things will be smooth. There's times that there won't. But I think if we just try to go back to what makes us happy, what we love about this, what we started for, I think that can just be, I guess, what fuels us. And that's what I had to do. So I was pretty down the last quarter of the year last year. I missed goals, and I got frustrated, and I really found out that I did it to myself. I put myself in this little Beachbody bubble and put a lot of pressure on myself. And, I'm ready to come out of that. And I just want to let you guys know that if you go through that, it's okay. Everyone does. And I think what's refreshing is when I hear other coaches who've had success in the business talk about the different seasons of coaching, and that there's ups and downs, and it's okay to walk sometimes. It's okay to sprint sometimes. It just needs to be what we need it to be in our lives. And so I think our team has so many phenomenal people on it. I think there's so much good energy here, and I want to keep that good energy going. I just think we can do that for each other. And above all, what this is it's a community. It's a community where we're trying to be our best, and then we've made some things happen in our own lives through these tools, and we want to share it. And I think that's so powerful. And that's what it's about, is that kind of sisterhood and the friendships, and then sharing that with other people. So that's what I kind of wanted to just open up with, is that there's ups and downs. There's a lot of good here. I'm going to talk a lot this year about creating joy. And I know a lot of you, well, I know, Jen, you were at Super Friday, right? It was Friday in Denver. And Carl's one message was overall, I want this year to be the year of fun.
Yeah.
And it was the reason why they're saying that is because we put pressure on ourselves, and we've all gotten away from that to a certain extent to try to reach goals and to be where we want to be. And sometimes it takes the fun out of it. So I really love that. And for me, like my word is joy. I want this to be joyful, and I want it to be how it was when, you know, this all started and stuff. So anyway, I'm going to go over like just a couple of topics that I have, but is there anything you guys want to say first? Jen, is there anything you want to like get right out?
No, probably see what you have and
okay.
See if it gets answered. Then I have my notes if not.
Okay. Awesome. Okay, cool. So I know you guys, we've been posting a little bit in the Team TNT page about a couple of announcements. So these are kind of the announcement parts, but the summit tickets are on sale for $145 right now until January 31st. And that's a savings of $150. So that's, I don't know if you saw that Super Saturday video, Jen, but they were talking about, well, they were saying like it was $175 for like 3 more days. And then, so hurry and get your ticket. And then they were like, but it's $145 starting. So when I was so confused, I was like, well, why the hell would anyone get their ticket to $175? Right. But anyway, so $145 is a good deal. And I know there's like a lot of talk about where people want to stay, and everyone's welcome to do what they want. I always just have Cody, as soon as I find out where it is, he's a Marriott Platinum member because of his travel. So I always just have him block rooms at hotels walking distance from where we are. So I just want you guys to know about Summit. I mean, I know like Tammy and Tina have been to several. Like the first year I went, Tammy had just started like a couple months before, and she was nursing, and she's like, I'm going. And I was just going to go by myself because I saw in 2012, I didn't go because I just had Brooklyn, and I was like, I'm not missing one. So I went, and then Tammy was like, I think I'm going to go. And I was like, oh, yay, I won't be alone. So it was like, it is magical. I don't know how to explain it other than it's just magical, and it's to see the big picture and to be a part of something bigger than just us working at our desk or our kitchen table or our beds, and to be like a part of it and seeing all these other people who've been doing that. It just really is such a really neat experience, and it gives you a lot of energy just personally and for your business. So if there's any way you guys can go, I just highly recommend it. And then the cruise. So next year's Success Club trip is a cruise, and Tina posted in there about it. I'm not going to like go into it tons, but I really like the cruise. We did a cruise a couple of years ago, but my husband does not like cruises. So we're actually, and I posted this in Team TNT, we're not going to do the cruise. So it's fine with me. We've done like 4 straight, and I think it's okay to like take a little break. So anyway, but I will tell you this too. And again, I'll talk about Tammy and Tina a lot because we've been together for a long time, but those trips, like we're about ready to go to Riviera Maya, they are a blast. Like they're so much fun. They're not like these fitness trips where like no one's sipping cocktails and eating desserts. It's like a vacation, like a true vacation with friends that you like get to meet in person finally. So that's another thing. Like I think, well, I know Tammy and I decided that the first time we decided to go for a trip, it was a Cancun trip. And we're just like, we've got to put some skin in the game. So it's like, you just go for it. I'm like, the more you go for it in this business and just like put it out there that you're going to do things, like I just think you rise up. So that's another thing. I also want to let you guys know, I'm just going to be really honest on this call tonight. I have a really hard time with new coach trainings, and it's because no one ever participates in them. So I shouldn't say no one, but it's very few. And so I'm really kind of trying to analyze how I want to move forward with that, because obviously I want new coaches to get what they need. But there are also a lot of resources in the Coach Online Office, and on JanelleSummers.com, she has a whole training site and a whole section for new coaches. So I'm like, do I recreate the wheel? Do I try to come up with something else to get people engaged? And I just struggle with that, because you guys know, if you've done challenge groups or you've run your own yet, it's so like draining when you put so much effort into something and then nobody participates, right? And so I'm like trying to just evaluate what I can do that's best for the team. Part of me just wants to say, hey, we've got to have our own initiative because we're our own bosses, you know, so we have the resources. I can direct you to them, and you guys can do that with your team, and then you go take advantage of them, and then we talk about questions and all that kind of stuff. And I'll tell you, like when we started, there was no coach training. There was no like group coach training. We did, like I signed up. Janelle Summers is my upline direct coach, my direct upline now. But I signed up with a girl who's not even in the business anymore, and she was always in and out. So I didn't have anyone running groups that we were a part of. Like Tammy and I kind of just figured out everything on our own. We watched videos, we listened to the National Wake Up Call, and we watched Janelle's trainings, and we just went for it. We messed up a lot. We would have had a lot of shorter learning curve probably if we did have a coach that was engaged, but oh well. You know, we wanted it, so we figured it out. And so, you know, I just wanted to address that because I've had some people asking me about new coach trainings, and I'm just a little bit undecided on how I want to approach that. So also, please know that you guys are your own CEOs of your business. Like the things that I'm talking about and the way I do things and the pace that I go does not have to be your pace. You do not have to do things just like I do. You can do whatever you want. That's the beauty of this business. It's like, if you're like, hey, you know, Wendy might not be doing it, but I'm going to put together my own coach training. That is so awesome. Like that's leadership. So, or, you know, it's also pretty awesome that we can just, you know, follow what successful coaches have done already without having to recreate things. So just know it's just like a wide open space for you to do what you want, make this work for you. And that's one thing I really want to talk about too tonight is making this work for your life. We all have different goals. We all have different dynamics in our families. You know, some husbands travel, some husbands don't. Some aren't married, some are married, some have kids, some don't. You know, some work, some stay at home. So I really think it has to be something that feels good in your life. And what I found for myself was that I was so obsessed with this business, I just got to a point where I like, you know, after 5 years. So I've been in this business a long time. And after 5 years, I was just like, okay, am I really like, is this fitting in my life, or am I just putting my life aside and trying to make this happen? And so I've really been, you know, reevaluating that. And I think we say as coaches that this is a way to live your life by design. But I had to kind of do a gut check on me because I wasn't really living that. I was saying that I was, but then I was staying up till like 11 at night, and I wasn't going to bed when my husband went to bed. And I was like, every spare moment I was on my phone. And I think that's okay for some people. Like some people they thrive on that, and that's okay with them. And it was for me for a long time. But I made a decision to not continue that way, that pace and that frantic feeling. And I want it to work in my life. And I tell you guys that not to like complain or sound negative, but I think it was really great to come to this realization that that's not how I wanted it to be right now in this season of my life. So just know, like, if you're like, hey, I want to make enough money to quit my job. I want this Beachbody income to take over for my full-time job. That is like super awesome. People do that all the time. I mean, we know people that are doing that. You're going to have to work hard. It's going to have to be more than 1 hour a day. That's great. That's fine. Like if that's what you want to do, this business can do that for you. If you just want accountability to your fitness goals, if you want this to be the healthiest year and you're not really like trying to build it as a business, or you love your job and this is just, you know, a side hustle, that's great too. That can be what this is for you. It's all about like keeping it fun, you know, keeping it fun and, you know, going at the pace that you want to go. I've gone hard and I've like scaled back when I've had children, and I've gone hard again and I've scaled back. So, you know, find out what works for you, and don't be afraid to do something that, you know, maybe isn't the traditional like Beachbody way. You don't have to be cookie cutter Beachbody coach. Like, in fact, don't feel like you have to do it just the same way someone else does or has. Do it the way it works for you and according to your goals and according to your why. Like if you just have this driving why that you've got to get out of this job or you've got to pay this or that off, then frick yeah, put your head down and go to work and sacrifice some things. Like there's nothing wrong with that either. It just know it can be what you want it to be. Let's see what else I was going to say. Oh, so let me take a breath. Is there anything like in this little space that anybody has questions about or comments? Like, I don't want to just talk at everyone. Go, Jen.
Off subject, but I have questions.
Go.
Okay, just from experience from anybody, Instagram stories versus Facebook stories. I was trying to do a little Instagram, but I don't use it that much, so I kind of forgot. And then I'd get back on, so I'm not consistent with it. Has anybody done Facebook stories? Does that work too, like Instagram, or should I really just try the Instagram thing?
What do you guys think? I don't do Facebook stories. I tried to link it so my IG stories would go to it, and it won't work for me. So I don't know. Anybody?
I actually just started like saving my Instagram stories and then putting them in my Facebook stories.
Oh.
And I feel like that's been a little helpful because I've noticed more and more people. I have a larger following on Facebook, so I think it's being seen more, like because it shows you your numbers and stuff. So yeah, I haven't been recreating anything. Like I haven't like made extra content. I've just saved it from Instagram and posted it in my Facebook just immediately. Even if they're like a couple hours later, it's not that big of a deal. I just bring it over there.
Awesome. That's a great idea.
And then a segue off that, where's my other question? Like, how do you get new customers? Just following, like people see a hashtag or something and they keep following and then eventually like you?
Like just in general, Jen? In general, how do you get new customers?
Stalking anybody or?
It's really private messaging. And not private messaging about Beachbody, but private messaging, just building relationships with people. And it's consistently doing that over time. And that you start to build trust with them. So then when you're posting like about 80-day obsession, they're already like, Jen is so cool. Like hasn't pushed anything on me. And, I kind of want to see what this is about. I see how happy she is, how great she looks and how motivated she is for a workout. So it gives people the courage to ask you. But it's, like all that stuff is behind the scenes in private messages, like private messaging, like 3 to 5 people to start out with a day, just starting conversations like, hey, how are you? How was your New Year's? Can you believe it's 2018? And ending with a question and starting a conversation going back and forth. Like the more you do that and the more people you do that, the more people will join you, like 30, 60, 90 days. There's a little lag time because you're building that trust, but would you guys add anything else? Oh, sorry, I can't hear you, Jen.
Sorry. So like outside of Facebook, Instagram people, how did you guys start getting more people? Period.
Go ahead.
That's that. Just more people that are not on your Facebook following.
How do you, sorry, I couldn't hear all of it. So how do you add more people to adding more people to your network, basically?
Yeah. Like that's not your Facebook friends or your Instagram followers.
Oh, like how would you talk to them about it? And
yeah,
I see. I never bring it up with people. Like if people ask me like what I do, what kind of exercise you do, or if they talk about like their fitness goals or whatever, everyone's talking about it right now, like what they're going to do to lose weight. I don't know. I'm really like in person. I never bring it up. Like if people ask me, I'll talk about it. And I might be like, oh, I worked out today, or my legs are so sore from my workout, but it's not like with an intent to get them as a customer. But it does start a conversation. Like I'll give you an example. I was with Cody in Napa, and his boss's wife was talking about workouts and asked me if I did any type of workout. She does CrossFit, and I just told her, and then Cody's like said something that I had a business, and then she like right away, and I was like so embarrassed. She right away, she like looks me up. Oh, I found her on Facebook, and I'm like, oh God, because I have like the sports bra pictures on there, like before pictures that like are just not that easy to share, and then she's sitting next to Cody's boss looking through my Facebook page, and I'm like, awesome. She's not a client or anything, but it just comes up sometimes like that. But I know some coaches are like, just talk to people about it. Just ask them what program they're doing. It's all what you feel comfortable with. I just try to get them on Facebook. Like if I meet somebody in person and you know what, we click, I just like go find them and add them on Facebook. I'm like, oh, I had so much fun talking to you. I hope you don't mind I added you. I message them right away.
Awesome. Okay. Yeah, I'm already seeing like in my challenge groups, my people are adding friends.
Oh, nice.
That's kind of helping too. So I've gotten 2 people to change over to me within a week, and I was like, okay, I wish it was that easy all the time, but but it's good. But those are my main questions, and I know Melissa, you want to ask your question?
Oh, yes. Did you say you were going to ask a question? Hi.
Yeah.
I'm sitting in my car. I don't know how dark it is.
We can see you okay.
Oh, okay. So I have some questions about, I'm just now switching like some customers over to coaches. And so now I found out that, you don't get like a commission off of them directly from their shake, order. But I'm wondering, how do you really earn from the coaches like that you bring in? I got a little confused looking at like the cycle bonuses and all that. And I was talking to Beachbody and it was really confusing. So.
Yeah, understandable. So and this is such a great question because there's 2 types of income as a Beachbody coach, right? There's the retail, the 25% you earn when somebody, gets on Shakeology or buys a challenge pack or buys anything. And then there's team volume bonus. And there's a really good video that helps explain that. Michael Neiman did it. If you look, Beachbody team volume bonus video, and I can look for it too and post it in Team TNT. But how that works is when you start growing a team, you get a bonus from the team volume. So the more people that you have on your team, you're teaching them how to help other people, right? So it's like a business of duplication. And so you're teaching them, the challenge pack, I'll just use that for an example because it's just the best value. So, most of us, we joined with a challenge pack. We didn't have them when I started, but you would join with a challenge pack. And it's like, you love it because it has everything and it's a discount. So naturally, when you're talking with people, you're telling them like the best way to do this is to join with a challenge pack, right? And then they become a coach and then they tell the people that they're talking to. So they're creating volume because anytime someone purchases something, there's volume tied to it. It's called PV. Personal volume or team volume. It gets a little bit confusing, Melissa, but basically the bigger your team is and the more you're teaching your team how to be successful, they're implementing those things, they're doing their challenge groups every month, the more volume you get. And then, oh, Tammy's so awesome. Here, she just chatted the video to you, to everyone. So that's where, and it will gradually shift as you build a team. It will shift from your income, your paychecks being mostly commission, the 25% from, people enrolling in your challenge groups, to as you start building a team and your coaches are running their own groups, it will switch from having a higher percentage of your paycheck from commission to team volume, where that's the majority. And like, I don't have a ton of commission usually on my paychecks. It's mostly team volume bonus now. And the cycles there, this video will explain the cycles because it's too hard to explain it. But I hope that helps a little bit.
You only earn those when you get to the emerald status, which is like the first status, and then you start earning them. Like
right.
If you have an active person. So like if you have 2 people and they're not active, if you sign up someone that's just wanting to be like a discount coach, like they're not really going to work it, then you wouldn't earn off of them because they wouldn't have volume, right? Is that how that works?
Well, as long as if they're an active coach and they get Shakeology each month, you would earn a little bit of volume, but not something that's going to really help impact your income. Yeah. It's those people who are like, I see you're growing a team. You guys are having so much fun. I want to be a part of that. And then you teach them, okay, here's what you do. This is what you do if you want to be, successful and start earning an income and things like that. You help 3 people a month. You run a challenge group. You run one with me first, that kind of thing. But you still get a little bit of volume, but that will not be enough if it's like, there's nothing wrong with people who want to join for the discount. Like it's great. But if you want to build a team and you want to build an income, it has to be people who are wanting what you want to build this business.
Well, and I've heard people in trainings talk about sending their like new coaches into like sneak peeks, or like if people are like wanting to move from customer to coach or just learning about the biz, like is there somewhere you'd recommend, or am I supposed to just kind of start my own? Like I'm just trying to think of like what a sneak peek for new coaches is. I haven't been in one, so I don't really know how to duplicate that quite yet, but I'm open to trying it. I just like a 3-day or like a week-long thing, just to kind of let them see what it's about.
There's so many different ways to do them. Like we've done like 5-day ones, we've done 3-day ones, we've done 1 hour. Like, love the 1 hour. It's really nice, and so there's a couple that we've done, and I need to plan to do another one. But if anybody is planning to do one, if you include, post in Team TNT, and so Melissa can get in on it, so you can see what it's like. But honestly, they're not that hard to run, and they're really pretty fun to do. Like I know Jess. I think you and Ashley did a sneak peek, didn't you? She's like, yeah.
Oh, yeah, we did, and we'll probably do another one soon. So I was just stepped away. Who was talking? You can be part of it with us if you want.
Melissa.
Oh, yeah. Hi, I'm Jessie.
Hi.
Your poor neck, Jessie.
Ashley's not on here, Ashley Boyle, but we have done one so far, and it wasn't too bad. But it's nice to share different stories. So if you want to do it with us, we'll probably be doing another one really soon.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'll send you a message.
Okay.
And Melissa, there's templates too in the Team TNT file section. We've posted some templates in there, so you can just look at what we've done and plug in, like, instead of, you could use other people's videos, but it's way better to do your own video, which is like good to get out of your comfort zone. But they're fun and they're easy, and honestly, like, it's just such a great way to give people a little look to what's going on. Great questions. Anything else?
So I have another question, but I don't want to take up all the time, but I've been getting a lot of the same questions from customers about like protein powder versus our shake. And obviously I know ours is much better, but if you guys been getting that and the verbiage that you're using to kind of like, I don't want to oversell someone, but I feel like I don't know, how do you guys handle that? Do you get that very often? The people that just want to go to GNC and get like a cheap powder, and they don't want to, they don't see the benefits, I guess, between the two.
Tina, are you in a position where you can talk? She might not be. I
am.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say she has a really great verbiage on talking about Shakeology. Did you hear her question?
Tell me your question again. Because I did a training on that, and I have some I can. I did a training called Leading with Nutrition, because really it is a great thing to do, right? We want to lead with nutrition because everyone kind of expects that it's fitness that's going to get them results, but it's really our nutrition. So
she was asking how you would. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say how I approach people is I don't tell them about Shakeology. I ask them more questions, right? So the more questions that I ask them about what they want from their nutrition, what's important to them, what's going well, what isn't going well, what struggles do they have, then, I don't have to sell them Shakeology. I just tell them about how Shakeology helps those specific things for them, right? Because that's what they want to know. So you don't have to be a master of knowing all the ingredients and everything like that. Obviously, the better of a student we are to learn more about the products and programs, the better. But the real key to helping more people and getting them excited about your solution is to understand what their needs are. So I'll repost that training in the TNT page, but it will help you to really have some good questions to ask and a good foundation to feel good about how to develop a solution for them around nutrition. Does that help?
And Melissa, also, there's a reason why, you drink Shakeology every day. There's a reason why I do. We all have our own story. So I think also sharing that, I've done protein powders or whatever in the past, you might say, and nothing has given me the energy or helped me with my cravings, or, I guess made me feel better overall, like this does, just because it's not just protein, because our body doesn't run on only protein. And so it's just given me a lot more. And I would keep it pretty, like, not detailed, just like short and sweet, and just like what you've noticed or why you drink it.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
there's
it surprises me why I'll explain like the junk food cravings, and I'll tie it back to what they've said that they want, but then they're still like, oh, well, I'm going to go with Arbonne. It's cheaper. I'm going to go with this protein powder. And it just doesn't, I don't know. I just keep thinking maybe there's verbiage I can use to add, but maybe it's just them. Maybe they just are not in a space where they can value themselves to pay that extra money or whatever it is.
That training that Tina's talking about is really good. And then Shay Stanford, they call her like Shay Stanford, SEAY Stanford, is like Shakeology guru, like for the whole company. She's a coach, and she's one of the top coaches, but she's done some really awesome trainings on Shakeology and the value and some verbiage too. So there's definitely trainings out there, Melissa, to check out. Build your confidence.
Yeah, and
too.
Melissa, I would say too, like, let them have other experience. That's okay. Sometimes they need that other experience to not have a good experience to be ready to, pay for a premium product too. So I would just say, hey, great. If you want to do that, how about you give it a trial for 2 weeks? Let's follow up and see if you're feeling better with this, this, and this, and point back to those specific things they were looking for.
Ooh, that's
always
good.
follow up,
Yeah.
Because let them, I think when we're trying to convince them, we kind of take away their power. Say, hey, great, if you want to try that, perfect. Why don't we follow up in 2 weeks? Let's do this. Let's do a trial and see how it goes. Or maybe invite them to do Shakeology for a week and Arbonne for a week and compare how they feel with the two, right? Those are good solutions to help them to make their own decision too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Good questions. Do you have any other ones? Like, feel free.
Wendy, can you hear me? It's Jessie.
Yeah, Jessie.
That video that Shay Stanford did, I think it was a couple months ago. I was newer, and I was having the same issues with people, the same thing. They think it's just a protein powder. And her training helped me a lot just with talking to people and even sharing that video with people. So I have the link saved, so I'll send it to you if you want.
Oh, that'd be awesome. I mean, I think you could even go in Team TNT and do the search bar and type in SEAY for Shay, and it might come up, but that'd be awesome, Jessie, because it just I think I know exactly what you mean, Melissa. It's like the verbiage, like how you have and it's how we posture ourselves. Like, are we confident in why we're drinking it? And like, the more confident we are, the more confident they are. And it grows over time too. It grows with time in this business and talking to people. So you're like, we all have been there for sure. What else, guys? These are awesome questions. Hi, Ashley. Hi, Julie. Julie, you fooled me when it said Shelly on your computer. I was like, Shelly.
I'm on my work computer, that's why. And even though I've changed it to
like Julie,
it comes up Shelly. I don't know.
That was cracking me up. Okay.
We look alike, so it could be Shelly, but no, it's me.
That is so funny. Okay, what else? Was someone just about ready to ask another question? Sorry, I'm moving everything around here. These are awesome, you guys. Okay. Okay, if there's not any other questions, I just wanted to say this too. Like, I briefly touched on 80-day obsession when we first started talking, and like, I don't know about you guys, but when all that stuff came out, when all the bundles and the etc., I was like, oh, what? Like, how do I even talk to people about this? How do I even explain it? I don't even understand it. Like, I had to study it. I had to watch like videos and listen to the wake up call like 3 times and Janelle's training and stuff. But I'm telling you, like, it's worth it to learn that, because this is, I think, from what I know right now, this is how things are gonna be coming out in the future. And so just kind of like wrapping our heads around it, and then also not being afraid to just like put it out there and then be like, okay, I'll figure out how to explain it as I go. That's okay too. But I think that we have a really great opportunity to capitalize on this right now. I know it starts January 15th, but the program is going to be there. So it's not like, oh gosh, if you didn't, capitalize on it for the January 15th start, there's still time to learn it and to talk to people about it. And people want to be a part of something. People want something fresh. And I just think it can add some excitement to your business too. I think that was, it did for me. It like got me re-energized about things to have something fresh and not just talk about Beachbody On Demand all access, like every, all the time, which is phenomenal, obviously, but just to like have something that you actually get a box for and you open it up and you have your sliders and you have your bands, and just how key the performance line is for this program. Like people don't understand. I didn't. I was like supplements. Like I was so not excited when they announced supplements. I don't care about supplements. And then when I did Hammer and Chisel a couple years ago, I was like, okay, I was highly recommended to use the supplements. Oh my God, I can't even live without Energize for one day. Like I will work out just so I can drink Energize. Like when I was a kid in college, like I would drink just so I could smoke a cigarette. It's like, I don't care. I want to smoke, but I only smoke if I have drinks. So I will drink so I can smoke. So it's the same, but it's much healthier. I will work out as long as I can drink Energize. Ashley, you're like, yeah, I am a crazy bee. But anyway, I just think, the more we understand and wrap our heads around it and teach our teams, like there's scripts in the Team TNT. And I say scripts and please know that take those and make them your own. It has to sound like you, or it will just come off as like so phony. And you guys see those people posting on Facebook or messaging you that it's just a spam message, and you feel like it's so impersonal. So anything like that, feel free to duplicate things in this business, but just change the wording and sound like you, like you're talking to your friend. But we have a lot of tools and we'll help you however we can be successful with that. But 80-Day Obsession is it's such it can be so huge for your business if you latch onto it. So if you haven't yet and you're not starting January 15th, that's cool. Start in February. Start a group in February. Wrap your head around it and team up with someone and get people as excited. Like, oh my gosh, if you miss January 15th, don't even worry because we have this going on. Do you know what I mean? So anything else about any other questions, anything on 80-Day Obsession, anything people want to chime in on?
Announcement, I guess, kind of. Chris, I don't think has announced it anywhere else, but Chris Downing will be doing another program.
Awesome.
Won't be a shift shop too, but he said it's better.
Oh, awesome.
He told us that on our Zoom calls that we had with him.
Oh yeah, because are you in the university?
I'm not in that, but the Colorado, when I bought my tickets, I was allowed to be on 3 Zoom calls.
Shut up!
So, he'll make you cry.
Awesome. Yeah, he will. Tammy.
He let us know it's not going to be Shift Shop 2, but it is going to be a bigger, better program.
Awesome. That is a great announcement. There's so much this company. It blows my mind how many new things every year. I mean, they are really trying to be, in the forefront of everything. We have so much ammo. We have so many tools to help people. And it can get overwhelming. So let me just say this, you don't have to do everything at the same time. That's another thing that can get really overwhelming in this business. And it makes people quit. They're like, it's too much. Or, they get frustrated with it because there's so many things and you feel like you have to promote every new thing and you don't. You guys, I did not make one post about double time. I was like, it's not my thing. You have to kind of be true to yourself. For some people, Tina did an awesome job with it. Her whole family did it. My girls worked out. See, I'm in a different phase. We're in different seasons. My girls, they don't want to work out with me right now. They were older, but Tina and her family did the whole program together. I mean, it was super cool to see. And so maybe you're not even excited about 80-Day Obsession or whatever. That's not your thing. Okay, I think, you have to do what's right for you and not feel like you're forced to talk about things that don't feel natural or forced to promote things. I just want to take that pressure off of you because you do not have to do that. What else? Anything else? I just want to say it's a fresh start. It's a fresh year. Like, I think there's so much positivity. I see a lot of excitement and from coaches who are newer and excited and achieving things. I mean, I see new people like Jen and Melissa on the Success Club banner, like, and I just see how you guys are working together, and it's really exciting. And, you know, like, try to find a way, if it hasn't been what you've wanted it to be, to make it what you want it to be, and make it feel good for you. Because that's ultimately what matters, is like, it feels good to you. You know, you don't have to be something you're not, or, I mean, for me, and I'm speaking because of my own experience, like I was trying to, you know, I thought I had to do things a certain way just because I was told that way. And I've just learned, like, you can be flexible. You can do things differently. And it's a beautiful thing about this business. There's no rules about how you approach this business, and whether you want it as a little part-time or you want it full-time, like you want to be at home, whatever you want it to be, you can make it that. So I just think that that's kind of a beautiful thing. So anyway, anything else anyone would like to add? Okay. Thanks for all the questions, you guys. Thanks for being on. I know it's so hard this time of night, and just anytime, people are busy. So thank you so much for being here. And if you have any questions or you want to talk to me, message me anytime. I'm here to help. All right, you guys. See you later.